My name's Brianna Hardy. I am speaking today to give the perspective of a spouse and family member in favor of the legalization of the metered inhalation method of medicinal marijuana, which you've heard my husband speak more about. My personal experience as the partner of a combat veteran is unique to our family, but I feel strongly that the challenges we face and have faced in the past are shared by many, and that the benefits this treatment method has brought our family in conjunction with traditional therapy can likely be applied to many others who are struggling to keep a family member with PTSD and thus their family unit not just intact, but on a road to recovery, physical and mental well-being, and productivity. I don't need to tell you the myriad list of struggles facing veterans who have seen active duty combat upon reentering civilian life. Gary just did that. We know the suicide numbers, and we know what we are doing to help them is not working as effectively as we would hope. If there is something, anything, we, the privileged few, who sit back and try to imagine the world they've seen and the physical and mental struggles they face as a result of their service, can do to aid in the process of allowing them to recover a somewhat normal, productive, enjoyable life, we owe it to them. We owe it to their families, who witness their pain day in and day out for weeks, months, and years after they have returned home. If we have the ability to make a decision that could help a small percentage of these struggling men and women and their families not to become a news story, not to become a shameful statistic that our country simply cannot continue to deny, why would we deny them that chance? My husband could have been a statistic. It's a series of small miracles, mistakes, love, stubbornness, therapy, trial and error, more love, more therapy, and determination that the man you see speaking in front of you is even here today. He is impressive. He is strong, intelligent, and hardworking. I could go on, but he's human, and I cannot fathom the life he lived while deployed. I cannot personally speak to the trauma he has seen that he replays in his mind on a daily basis. I can only speak as a witness to the chronic pain, the emotions, the headaches, the sleeplessness, the anxiety, the depression, the flashbacks, the compulsive thoughts, the navigation of prescription drugs, the endless list of challenges he hates to even admit he battles on a minute-by-minute basis. Challenges he only finally felt comfortable sharing with someone, me, when we were brought together 6 years ago. Challenges it took him years of being home to acknowledge to himself, let alone anyone else. I can't tell you why I stayed at times over the last 6 years. I'm not a perfect partner. Even when I strived to be whatever type of person he needed in that moment, to just be the loving woman by his side, no one can understand, adapt, or support 100% effectively when their loved one is struggling at the capacity that he was struggling before seeking professional treatment. I can tell you how much I love him and felt like deep down he loved me, even at a time in his life when he couldn't begin to love himself. I can tell you how much I wanted to help, because even though he couldn't articulate it, I could see in the choices he was making, the battle he would fight just to make it out of bed and out of his darkened house each day, how badly he wanted help but didn't know where to find it. I can tell you how much I wanted us to have a life together and how desperately I wanted to be the pillar of strength he needed, even when I felt my own minimal life experiences could not have prepared me for loving him. But I can also tell you that I left more than once. I moved out. I applied for jobs back home in California. I thought about moving in with my cousin in New Jersey and starting over. I planned many times over the years to put the anger, the relationship struggles I was embarrassed to tell my friends and family about, the resulting personal depression and doubt, the love I knew I was giving but couldn't necessarily be outwardly reciprocated, behind me and move on. Certainly as a woman, the narrative we hear about how to love and be loved, the expectations we are told to set the bar for how to be treated by our significant other, are not geared towards those of us in relationships with a former combat veteran. It simply doesn't apply to us. Otherwise, none of us would stay or come back, and our partners would lose the person they have chosen to finally share this journey to recovery with. A journey that takes years of work, is riddled with pain, but can result in joy. Around a corner to a normal life with a light at the end of the tunnel. A journey that can result in thriving careers, happy children, and deep partnerships most of us only aspire to. We are still a work in progress and always will be. We took a lot of time to get here, and we will never have a Nicholas Sparks level romance. We put in the work, and there were times we both wondered if we had put in enough work, if it would ever be enough. If we had had the means to enhance the effectiveness of our traditional VA prescribed therapy process in a healthy, controlled manner years ago, maybe I wouldn't struggle with the guilt of knowing how many times I told him, the hero, the man I love, that I've had enough and I can't put up with it anymore. If we'd had some alternative to ease the cocktail of prescription drugs to help him and help us, maybe I wouldn't have feared so many conversations, repressed so many emotions, and held back from the productive moments as they arose because we hadn't mastered the communication techniques necessary to navigate those situations outside of our therapist's office. All the work we put in has kept us churning forward. The effects of years of therapy, the help of prescription drugs, those things must be acknowledged. But for us, and for so many, those things alone were not enough. My husband, like many of his veteran brothers and sisters, will always go above and beyond, and was not afraid to seek out the means to do that in his journey to recovery for himself and for our family, even if that meant going outside traditional means, even if it meant trying something with a decades-long social stigma attached. His willingness to have an open mind, to put himself out there, has brought our collective health and happiness to a level I'd only dreamed we might one day achieve. If he can help others struggling to get out of the darkness see some kind of light, I know he will, and he will do it with my full support. I am so very thankful to him for not giving up. I am in awe of the journey he has taken to be in front of you today, and I am grateful to each of you for hearing us, considering our perspective with regards to an issue that can have a monumental impact in the lives of our veterans and their loved ones. Thank you.
Thank you.